Hello, all. Welcome to Hawk on Tap Podcast, episode 163, The Stretch Run and the Frozen Four. I'm your host, Bill Dean. I'm, of course, here with my three co-hosts, Shorts Guy, Steven, Schwim. Brought to you by Primetime Radio, courtesy of Mr. Sam Wu. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Please leave us a 5-star review if you'd be ever so kind. Gentlemen, what are we drinking?
William, well done. Well done.
It only took how many? Let's see. What number are we?
No. I've had some clean ones before.
Oh wait, we're not recording. We gotta do it all over again.
Yeah, we're whoops. Yeah, no. I've had some clean ones, but yes, it's few and far between.
That one was pretty good, Guy. I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
it was.
Thanks.
Credit where credit's due.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what are you guys drinking? Because God forbid.
I am still in cleanup mode, and I still have yellow flashing lights, which it's still cold out, so what the heck?
Yeah, it works.
Still kind of feels like winter. I'm drinking.
It's very much winter.
Better Booch.
Yeah, it's not spring.
No.
Better Booch. Kombucha.
I like it.
Booch.
Notes of ginger, lemongrass, and mint.
Mint.
Not bad.
I am drinking. I only have one thing in the fridge, and I put my thing on it, so you can bet you it's a beer of some kind filled with lots of fruity notes and flavors. That's all I have. I got nothing over here. I should have brought the friggin' heady topper from the other house over.
Yeah, seriously.
That would be good.
I thought it was Focal Banger.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Focal Banger. I'm gonna bring that next time.
Focal Banger is really good. I mean, you can't go wrong with Focal Banger. The Holy Moly is pretty good too.
It's gonna taste even better.
Free, even better.
Holy free holy.
Better get me a bowl of guacamole.
Courtesy of Magnify Brewing, Double Rainbow, Sour Ale. Not too bad.
Not gonna say what's in it.
Smoothie sour, tangerine, grapefruit, lime, coconut cream, and creamsicle.
The toast.
See, it doesn't say contains lactose, but it does say creamsicle. So I'm going to go ahead and think that it's
cream equals toast.
Yeah, most likely.
It's Magnify.
The toast. Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, they're all lactose all the time.
Yep.
So let's get to what's on tap for today's episode. Here's our weekly snapshot. We are down to less than a month of the hockey season. Regular season, I should say. And then the lovely playoffs begin. We've already seen multiple teams get officially ousted from playoff contention, which, you figure about a month to go, they're mathematically eliminated. And so that's always a good thing to see as a playoff team. But obviously, the past week we weren't on our game. We weren't in person here, as we were in Vegas and Phoenix for some lovely Devils games. It was a fantastic weekend, by the way. 2 Devils losses, 2 Rangers wins. I think Pittsburgh won, right? Did Pittsburgh win? Did Tampa win too?
It did.
So everybody here had a pretty good weekend, right, Shorts Guy?
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, everybody had a pretty good weekend. It was, listen, I would say this. If you are a hockey fan, and it doesn't matter who you go to see when they're playing them, but go to the Mullet. It's a lot of fun. We've been there twice already. It's a very good time, especially just to see it as one game. And then take the quick 45-minute ride over in a plane to Vegas and watch the shenanigans that happen there. It's just the whole lead-in, the parade they go into the stadium, the show they put on beforehand. It's an event every time you go see the Vegas Golden Knights play. And we had a blast. So many fun things from – obviously we were with Let's Go Devils podcast. We were with Sam. We were with Scotty. We were with Beer Baron. And Beer Baron might be one of my, new favorite people. He is very funny. And everyone saw the live stream rant that he had. Probably the Let's Go Devils
if you
podcast.
missed it, you missed out.
Epic.
If you missed it, you missed out.
I was on the left. He was on the right. And Scotty was just going, Beer Baron was just going off. And few things in life give me the joy that as a drunk Devils fan. Well, not drunk Devils fan, but as a Devils fan that's just kind of just
an aggravated.
That's exactly what we
aggravated Devils fan.
It was awesome, and the whole weekend was great. The place Airbnbs we stayed, Not so much the pizza place. Steven can talk to you about that on the side.
No, I'm not gonna talk about pizza place.
But yeah, the food there is fantastic in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, where we were, and just the
I don't
whole
know.
weekend was fantastic.
I don't know. Everyone for the most part seemed to be struggling the next day after that pizza we did
Well,
eventually.
that wasn't because
It
of the
was
food. I don't think that was because of the food.
100% not the pizza. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
Pizza played no part in that.
But yeah, I want to say that Beer Baron rant, which we haven't even had a chance. We have not even had a Let's Go Devils podcast since then, so we haven't even had the
Oh, you
chance to
haven't?
No, we haven't, just because of this, that, and the other thing. I don't know when we're going to do it, but yeah, that Beer Baron rant may be one of the funniest damn things I think I've seen in a very long time. I cannot remember laughing as hard as I did, and I've known Beer Baron a while, and holy hell, was that comical to see.
Did he do that on the Let's Go Devils podcast, or did he do that on the side?
No, it was a side stream that Sam had put up, which was even funnier. Scott didn't know. She keeps saying Scott, but Bear Bear did not know what was going on. That was very funny.
No, yeah, he was just ranting because he had enough. I mean, it all started in the third period when he started shouting at the game, of which you could hear him on the broadcast, and then it just proceeded to continue outside of the building. And then at some point, he snapped. He just absolutely snapped. And then he kept going.
Vegas,
he kept going.
Arizona?
After Arizona, he kept going and going. Next thing we knew, the tarp was off, and he just kept going.
Tarp's
just,
off.
Yelling at people as they walked by, asking them, "Are you guys hockey fans?" Well, don't. It was. I have to rewatch it because it was just in the moment. It was
I got to
so
rewatch
funny.
that too because I was laughing so hard. Me and Steve were just dying.
I'm a fan.
It was
In real life.
I mean, the people riding around on scooters and motor, and then bikes and skateboards, and he's screaming at them. Extremely funny stuff.
Man, oh man.
But yeah, like I said, I highly recommend that anybody that can make it to Vegas and to Phoenix, because like I said, it's just a short distance. Find a team. It doesn't matter which team you go follow.
Just go.
But just
go.
follow a team, watch those two teams play, and enjoy it because it is fantastic.
Although I have to say, this is after, I don't know how you and Steven are feeling, but after going to the Mullet twice, I feel like I've had my fill of going to the Mullet.
Yeah, don't need to go again.
I feel like pretty good having gone. But Vegas, I would love to go to again because that was just the whole Vegas experience. And we've seen it on TV. Like all of us have seen it on TV in the playoffs. It's wild. I mean, it's so wild in Vegas that even the Girl Scouts will cost you if you're loud enough.
The arena is cool too because I remember going to Ottawa and that stadium you're basically you're right on top of each other, right? It's so steep. It's a little steep too, but I like it because we were standing room only at the top of the stadium, and you could see very well. It wasn't like there was an issue.
Short people had a little bit more trouble.
Well, we also had an NBA player and his 7-foot wife in front of us. We could see anything over the top of the team.
Not like I couldn't see at all. There were certain places of the ice where people's heads were in the way, but it really, I mean, for the most part, you saw the majority of everything. So I'm not going to complain about sights. But
you got the vibe.
Being short didn't help.
Yeah, you definitely got the vibe of being there just from up top there, and it was.
Sam got the vibe too.
Sam got the vibe.
Sam got the brunt of the Vegas fan base.
Yeah, those Girl Scouts just gave it to Sam.
Yeah, so Sam was basically just he was screaming the whole time, "Jake the Snake." Well, he was playing really well, right? Jake Allen played really well.
Played phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but up until that second goal went, or the first goal went in, then they obviously started to get on. But that second goal just unleashed the flood on Sam Wu, and
it was the first
fantastic.
One. The first one unleashed it.
They were trying to give it back. He miraculously was in the
one.
bathroom.
Yeah, it was. Conveniently. Yeah, conveniently. Conveniently,
Sam
he
was
wasn't
screaming.
there.
Sam was screaming, "Jake the Snake!" at a dump-in blocker save to the corner. Oh man, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
Vegas
was.
That horn that goes off when they open the gates is so loud.
Oh yeah,
so loud.
You guys,
it's a cool.
You guys were
cool
doing the Let's Go Devils podcast, and Sam was trying to play music, and you couldn't hear it because it was just like the largest horn.
Yeah, it went on for a while too.
Oh man,
unexpected.
I know it.
I didn't know that was happening.
At one point, Steve and I were standing there just watching it all, and we just kind of looked at each other like, "Why would you not want to play here as a player?"
Yeah.
Like even going out for their warm ups, like it's
coming
just,
down and
yeah. I mean the helmet's coming down just to go out there to begin the game, but even going out for warm ups, I noticed they still.
Oh, there it is.
And whatever that music is, wherever they got it, if that's an original piece, if they had that written for the team, if that was something they found, but man, I don't know how you couldn't get that music is just pumps you up, and it's even as just like watching from the stands, like wow, yeah, I'm like jacked just to be here, and I'm on the opposing side.
You can totally see how Vegas is starting to really play the villain out there on the West Coast. By witnessing it all, but it is with an unbiased, opinion going in there. It's such a phenomenal experience. I would want to be like, I don't envy you guys that you had. I mean, I'm of a different cut from a different cloth where I don't particularly like going to a game at an away arena to see my team play because I would rather appreciate the experience of that arena. I would rather go see Pittsburgh play in Pittsburgh and then, other teams play in other arenas. But that's just my opinion. But no, just like going in there with a completely unbiased opinion for who wins what, you really just soak it all in. It was really, really quite cool.
You can't tell me you were going to be okay if the Devils won.
I would have totally been okay if the Devils won.
Yeah.
Because my friend loves me. My friend Steven loves me. And he I'm
gonna be like Shorts guy. Because I actually wanted them. Well, I didn't necessarily want them, but I would have been completely fine if they came out and they beat Vegas. Just because the loss to Arizona was just so phenomenal.
So awesome.
That was bad.
If they had beaten Arizona, we wouldn't have experienced everything that we experienced in the post game and even during the game.
Yes.
So like a win for you guys would have been great, and it would have been it would have been a nice experience. But they played reasonable. Well, I mean, they didn't play well. Jake Allen.
I mean, bad.
Personally, and I think I said this when we were on the trip, but I've seen it all as far as traveling far away to see my team lose. In a cup final, in just random matches, and almost almost being hauled off for my reaction to such things. I've seen it all. So for me to travel and a team loses at this point, I'm like, yeah, well, that sucks. But I mean, Steven, kind of like what you were saying, I've learned to appreciate the being in that away venue, kind of taking it all in, even though I'm there to watch my team play. Like I'm still able to kind of take that in. That's just from. Good. I've also traveled a whole hell of a lot for sports.
Yeah.
Mostly soccer, but I mean, I've gone and seen. I mean, back when I was in college, we did Montreal Caps up in the I guess it was the Bell Center at that point. Unfortunately, it wasn't the old Forum, but so I mean, traveling for me, I'm just so used to traveling for sports, and it's just something I do. So I'm able to still kind of do that, kind of compartmentalize, be like, okay, I'm here for my team. But I'm also here to like check this out because I was able to definitely appreciate everything that Vegas and Arizona had to offer. So that's
especially that arena. That's like an experience.
Go
to an away game.
It's a show.
That's like an away game.
It's a show. They have to.
It's a whole show. Yeah.
They have to in Las Vegas. They absolutely have to. But that's definitely. I think Las Vegas is definitely a trip that we're going to have to do. If not every season, every
Vegas
other
again,
season.
And then hit somewhere else.
Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville would be cool.
Nashville.
Yeah. I'd recommend a little more sleep in between.
I'd like to see Seattle's
on my wish list.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough, day game. If it was like a day game and then a night game, I think it would have been a little bit better. But
if it was like Friday, Sunday, Friday evening, Sunday afternoon, that would be perfect. Give us Saturday.
Once again, this is where my traveling experience comes into play because I felt pretty good until the flight home. I felt pretty good until the flight home. Those types of trips. I kind of prefer those go trips because
I like them too. Yeah.
I'd prefer to use every single hour I have available. Just use every hour I have available. But that's just me. I'm also crazy.
I like to devote every hour I have available to sleeping. So that's sometimes
we know. I believe there's a song.
You were struggling at the casino. At the casino at the blackjack table.
I believe there's a song that might be played on this podcast that represents what I just
your
said.
love for sleep.
How much money did everybody lose in Vegas?
I don't lose any.
I'd rather not say.
Nobody played?
I'd rather not say.
I didn't.
I came out a little bit ahead.
She only played blackjack?
No, we
blackjack
played craps, which was not good.
No, that was a bad table. Craps. That's my fault.
But me, Scotty, Sam put down $20 or $30 and lost immediately, and then just left. That's very funny. You put like two hands and then just quit.
The best thing we did was go and find. The best thing we did was go and find Eleanor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eleanor. Yeah.
She was
playing blackjack at the Vegas Vacation.
Yes,
it really was.
Yeah,
changing 500.
Yeah. And then Steven's about ready to Steven. His body was just going into shutdown mode.
Crippled.
Oh yeah,
like the lights were just like from top to bottom, just like off.
He could have kitty catted, just like crouched in between the chairs and just slept.
Yeah, I was going to just like go in between you guys and just kind of curl up in a ball and see what happens.
The engine was running, but there was nobody behind the wheel.
Well, the engine was barely running.
Yeah, the engine was.
He was coasting on fumes. And I wouldn't suggest curling up on that floor. I think that floor has seen better days.
I'm sure, but I was ready.
That casino's seen better days.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? We had a good time there.
Hey,
I enjoyed.
Yeah, go to Oyo.
Casino the best.
Yes, go to Oyo. $10, $5 and $10 blackjack tables. It gets everybody around having fun, and guys slapping each other. It was good stuff.
It was a good time. There was a pretty hot craps table there. Yeah. There was a hot craps table there, and that's the type of table you want to be.
Appeared to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were winning. So hey, it is what it is. You go there for fun.
Yep, you do. But yeah, altogether, great trip. Once again, highly recommend it. Go with bring a bunch of guys or bring wives.
Just
I think that'd be also
bring
fun.
Whoever wants to go, just go.
Yep. Exactly. All right, so we talked about it. NHL standings so far eliminated. Blue Jackets out in the East. In the West, you got Anaheim, Chicago, and San Jose. 4 teams that are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. Montreal looks like they're about to be the next 2. Them in Ottawa. Same thing with the Coyotes and the Seattle Kraken. They're 69. Then you start to get to the fun that is the Eastern Conference. Really, the West, Vancouver's in. That's shoo-in. Avs, Dallas, Jets. They're all above 90. They're all pretty sure to make it. Oilers are right at 88, but they have 3 games in hand on 2 of these teams. Nashville Predators sitting at the 6th spot. Sorry, they're at 88, tied with Edmonton. They're looking pretty good.
1, right?
15-0-1.
Yeah, they're on a friggin' run.
Well, no. So last 10 is 8-0-2. So they have another overtime loss in there too. But they're on quite a pace.
The loss of Andrew Burnett by the Devils coaching staff, I think, was one of the biggest mistakes. That was one of the biggest mistakes.
I agree. I never liked, like I said, we talked about it. I didn't like your former coach, but yeah, Burnett's a good get for Nashville. They played really well. Their offense is flying. They have. Did you see the fight between Moritz Seider and Phil Forsberg? Where Seider was throwing haymakers, but you have their 2 best players arguably are going at it, and it's playoff contention and pretty good. In the 7th spot, you have the LA Kings at 85 points, and then at the 8th spot, you have the Vegas Golden Knights. They're 4 points ahead with a game in hand above St. Louis Blues, who, they're playing decent, 6-4. But Minnesota Wild 6-1-3 in their last 10. Yep. Vegas. It's going to be a big match. They are 6 points behind Vegas. Like I said, Vegas has 1 game in hand. Calgary, I think, is pretty much kind of spent their last little go. So I don't think Calgary is really much part of this race anymore. But the East and the fun division right now, Rangers are sitting at tops. Actually, I didn't realize they're tied with Vancouver for President's Trophy points. Not that I want that, but 98 points. Florida Panthers 97, Hurricanes 97. Rangers have a game in hand on both those teams. Bruins at 97 as well. Then you have the Leafs at 89. So they're sitting in the 5 spot. You have Tampa at 85. Coming up on the Leafs.
Yeah, bro.
So they're at the 6. 7 and 8. Flyers and Capitals with Detroit just on their heels. Washington has 2 games in hand. Sorry, 1 game in hand on Detroit, 1 game in hand on the Islanders, who sit at 9 and 10. Devils at 11. Capitals have 2 games in hand on them, and they're 5 points up. So I guess right. So we'll go. Steven, I mean, unfortunately, 70 points in 70 games. 2-6-2 their last 10. It's been rough, right? Ever since they pretty much waved the flag with getting rid of Gensel.
Expand that, it looks even worse.
Yeah, no, it's been worse. Yeah, but I mean, I think you would say you're pretty much expecting them not to make the playoffs. I mean, they're like I said, they're 9 points out with same amount of games played, but it's gonna be
12 games
a tall tale.
Not 9 points out, 12. I mean, they can win out and they would still need help. So no, it's
yes.
I think they have like less than 1% chance of making the playoffs,
top of them.
or something like that. Yeah, it's and not only that, there's nothing that they've shown at any point. I mean, just saying recently, nothing that they've shown that they have any interest of giving any kind of a push. At one point, they were, I think, after that Sunday when they beat Detroit, they're actually 5 points out of the wild card, and then they just were just completely disinterested to play the Devils, like completely disinterested to play the Devils. Got completely outclassed by Dallas, and then just blew a 4-0 lead to Colorado. So it's just,
that was a bad one.
They're done.
Have you seen anything from Crosby or the captain of him kind of letting up a little bit, or is he still going?
Well, yeah. I mean, you could tell after the Gensel trade, it looked like he was visibly frustrated. And you could tell even on the ice. Even on the ice, he just looked defeated. And he had a spell there where he had, I don't remember how few points he had and how many games, but
we had no goals in like 10 games, right? Was it more than that? Yeah.
Not only was more than that, but it was but he had 4 points. Yeah, 4 points yesterday against Colorado to put them up 4-0.
He's got 73 points in 70 games on a team where Malkin's, at 53, 20 points behind, and it looks like Malkin's sometimes not even trying. But Crosby's had an absolute ridiculous season. Well, yeah.
That's
but he's had a ridiculous season on a team that, clearly has not helped him. And he still deserves to be in a Hart conference, at least a nod, right? He's not going to be in the top 3, but just a nod is enough because he really has been that good.
Right, and the only reason why, I mean, you just think about if they didn't have him, where they'd be. I mean, they'd easily be one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, he's
they'd be looking for Celebrini right now.
Yeah, they'd easily be in contention. Just the massive failure that it's been from everybody, the underachievement from so many guys, and disappointing seasons from so many guys, and yeah, I don't know. It's on Dubas. He built this team, and it's pretty bad. So I don't know. And even yesterday, you look at the core. The core is locked up, right? And that was a big thing, like locking up the core, keeping Malkin, keeping Letang, and Malkin has taken such a massive step backwards as far as his ability goes, and he still thinks he's in his mid-20s. That's the worst part, is that he still tries to do things that he did back then, now at the half speed that he's at. So it looks pathetic. It's like sad to see. And then even Letang yesterday with the game winner in overtime with Drouin, I've never seen him so easily beaten by just a little move. He was just, and especially lately, his play has declined massively. In the start of the season, he was great. He was carrying that defense defensively, but since then it's been a disaster. But yeah, this is a failure of a season, and I don't know. We'll see. I guess we can. It's a conversation for another podcast. What the off season is going to bring, we'll see.
I think they might have like one of the craziest off seasons of any team coming up.
I think if they need to, they need to dish. There's a lot. I have a wish list. Number one on my wish list is trying to move that Jari contract.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck. I mean, there's someone for everyone out there, but that's going to be.
Hey, there are the Devils. They need a goaltender.
No, we're not taking Jari.
Let's see it. Let's see it happen.
We're not taking Jari.
Send him to Arizona.
Yeah,
Arizona will take him.
I don't know what his. I'm sure he has some sort of. I didn't look at his contract. I'm sure he has some sort of
NMC
no trade list, half teams or something like that. I know there's something in there.
All right, we're gonna go to the other side of this. Schwim, Tampa Bay Lightning, 7-1-2 their last 10. Spanked my Rangers about a week and a half ago. It was Braden Point show all over it.
I never heard anything about that game. Schwim said
we weren't on.
I believe
we
he had
on
6
that
points that game.
No, yes. Schwim said nothing. Not even in our group chat. Not even in our group chat.
Schwim was mean. Nope. Schwim was mean that day. I don't know what happened at work.
I didn't hear a word.
Downright mean guy.
I thought I was very cordial.
No, you were a jerk. Straight up jerk. And I did not appreciate that, buddy.
You wished horrible things upon me. I had to.
Well, I had to do it afterwards because you just belligerent and.
Well,
awful.
What was I supposed to do?
And I'll tell you what, my cousin was there. My cousin, who is unfortunately a Rangers fan, although I love my cousin dearly, he was at that game in Tampa and had to witness that as a Ranger fan. So he was.
I wish
he was actually
better than what Schwim witnessed down there at in Tampa.
One game I went
to play.
One of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life. Including watching and going to games. Terrible.
Nikita Kucherov, 123 points, 41 goals, 82 assists. Braden Point with another 80 points. He's could hit the 50-goal mark. Him and Kuch, actually. Victor Hedman's been awesome, 69 over point per game player. Obviously, he's taken over the main power play because what's his name's out. Sergachev, thank you. Stammer's been good.
He's been hot lately.
And you got. Yeah, Hagel has been close to a point per game guy. Nick Paul's been meh, but you have the horses, right? And people saying that this group of players is old are just idiots. I mean, I think the oldest guy is Kucherov at 31, other than Stamkos.
No, Stamkos is.
But I mean, other than Stamkos. But this core is playoff proven, and they're lethal. And as a Ranger fan, I don't want to see in the first round. I'd rather see any of the other 3 retreads that you're going to get at that 8 spot. Because right now you guys are sitting comfortably at the 2 spot, second wild card, right? Well, first
even
wild
us.
Card.
Yeah,
I'd rather play you. Yeah, Tampa scares the living daylights out of me because they have the goaltender, they have obviously an all-world defenseman
who hasn't even played that well this season. Imagine if he was playing well.
He plays. 69 points in 68 games. He's played pretty damn good. Kucherov, Vasi, yes.
Vasi.
Sorry,
I caught that Schwim.
Yeah, who has not played well, but he's lethal. He's playoff proven, and
I know he's still mad at you.
I am.
At least I listen to you, Schwim.
But the offense with Kuch and Point, who can just do whatever they want when they're on the hockey rink, it's amazing to see Schwim go off. Go ahead.
Kuch has
I
been.
don't know.
Yeah,
they're missing somebody though. Short guy, they're missing somebody on the roster. I don't know if they can make that run without
Tampa. Yeah.
Oh, Corey Perry.
Yeah.
They need Corey Perry.
They tried to reacquire him, and they put the kibosh on that. So they didn't want him for another playoff run because whatever team he's on is not winning the cup. So
Edmonton's not winning.
Sorry, Edmonton. Yeah, you guys aren't winning.
Not going to win.
But no, Kucherov's been MVP. Although I don't think he's really getting that much love for the MVP. He's in the conversation, but I don't think a lot of people are actually picking him for the MVP, which everyone likes.
I think it's. I mean, I could still see
the season though.
I don't know. Kucherov has 40. He has 40 plus more points than anyone else on Tampa. All the David has Draisaitl.
You do have
Rantanen with.
But you do have an 80-point guy. You do. I mean, Braden Point. Let's not belittle how good he is.
Rantanen has 90-something points. He's right up there with McKinnon and friggin' Draisaitl and McDavid are right there with each other.
Makar is 78. Rantanen
40
has
plus
96.
Points more than the next highest scoring player on
43.
Tampa.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what the season would be like without him. But yeah, no, they've been playing well lately. They just had a road trip, a 5-game road trip. They went 4-0-1 on it, which was very good. Beat Vegas in Vegas. Came back and got a point out of against LA. Lost in overtime on a horrendous defensive play. But that's
also I would
there.
say the other thing. So they have, I think Kucherov has 45 power play points, right? And McKinnon also has 43. But the plus minus between McKinnon and Kucherov's +6, and then McKinnon's 31.
Plus minus terrible.
31. It's amazing that
Tampa's
Tampa,
not a good defensive team. They do a lot of their damage on the power play. That's why their plus minus and 5-on-5. They're not as good. But
they rely on
lately they've been playing well
a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know,
they do.
And they need him to play really well down the stretch. So hopefully he can play better than how he's been playing. But yeah, I would say I could see some teams, not wanting to play. They're going to be playing either. It's going to. I'm assuming they're not going to catch Toronto, even though they're kind of close to them now. They're only, I think, 4 points behind Toronto for that third spot. But they're either going to play basically, let's say, Boston, Florida, the Rangers, or Carolina. One of those 4 teams. So it's going to be like a pretty hard first series for whoever's playing against them. But whatever. I just want them to get in. I don't give a shit who they're playing. It doesn't matter.
I want you guys in Florida to just beat the living daylights out of each other. I think that'd
be a good opening series.
Good opening matchup.
They definitely would. They can renew that rivalry. They hate each other.
Yes, that would be fun. I'd like to see that one.
They got destroyed by them the one game, and then they came back and played them and beat them. So they
they beat them pretty handily. Well, not pretty handily, because if it wasn't for Vasi, you wouldn't have won that most.
No, Vasi played out of his mind that game. Out of his freaking mind that game.
All right, Shorts. So Devils last 10, 5-5. We talked about the weekend, but more recently, you had a win against the Islanders. Who, there's funny with the 3 Islanders just collided with each other and did just let's check in on the Islanders.
Yeah.
So you get the win. You got the win there. You lose to
Ottawa.
So 4-0.
Ottawa.
Yeah, you lose to Ottawa, which 5-2. You can't. It's not a good one, and you could see everyone Devils fans was losing it after that, because you had a really good win at Winnipeg, 4-1. Yeah, they just came off of beating the Rangers the night before. You also beat Pittsburgh. Steven talked about it, and then obviously the weekend that happened. But you do sit, like I said, 5 points out with. Actually, the other team has 2 games in hand. Yeah,
that's the worst part.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's perplexing, because no one. It seems to be like no one in the East wants to grab that final playoff spot. No one is.
It's terrible.
No one is dying to get it, and the Devils will go out and beat teams like Dallas and Winnipeg, but then they'll lose to Arizona, and they'll lose to Ottawa, and they'll look like garbage, and then they'll just run over teams like the Islanders, which I was very happy to see. It's perplexing, and Vinny and I talk.
We all were.
We all hate the Islanders.
We all do. Vinny and I talk about this on Game Day Live constantly. It's like we feel like a broken record. It's like we're always 5 points out, 4 points out, 6 points out. It's like we're always right there. But I think our Achilles heel is going to be the games at hand, which we had games at hand, and now we don't, and we lost those games at hand. It's those stupid losses, like the Ottawa loss might be one of them. Losses against San Jose, losses against Anaheim, losses against teams that we should have and could have beaten. But the good thing is nobody wants that final spot, and if the Devils can come out
above you is also losing.
Yeah, I know. So, if the Devils can somehow string it together, like we've got Toronto and Buffalo this week.
Washington's doing pretty well.
Washington's doing.
They are.
They've come up,
but
and they have 2 games in hand. Ow.
I know that's the worst part, that they have 2 games in hand. But I'm looking at my schedule now: Toronto and Buffalo this week, and then we get it's another Steven Shorsky matchup the following Tuesday, and then and that's at home again. So
watch it together.
Wow, I can't do that. I'm going to be not in country. But then April 3rd, where I hope to see somebody's face absolutely smashed in with a crowbar.
Well, hopefully not that doesn't happen, but yes,
no,
I understand.
You know what though? That jackass autographed a picture of Bastion after he hurt him. That's a
I mean, I'd like to see. I'd actually like to see a video, or because people can do that and just like fake the autograph.
No, I know that. I know that people can do that.
I hope that that's not true. But yeah,
that came. Yeah, that came from a Rangers.
Well, the Ranger fan's a jerk, first of all. But yes.
Well, shocker, a jerk Ranger fan. I mean, you're not
gonna say a Ranger fan being a jerk.
Not us.
No,
not us.
It's just it. But aside from all that, the Devils are still in it, and that's the hell of it all. The problem is, like, if the Devils are in it, what Devils team is going to show up for that first round playoff game, for any of that first round series? Because this team is so Jekyll and Hyde. You look at the team that showed up against Winnipeg, which Steve and I were watching part of that when we were at the show last Thursday, and they were like, "Holy crap, who's this team?" And then also, I'm at the game on Saturday.
Not to poop on Winnipeg's looked bad, pretty bad lately.
Yeah,
yes.
lately.
They beat the Rangers, and then we were the start of their slide. But we looked really good against Dallas.
Right.
It's so weird with this team. Just like, I don't know. We'll see what team shows up tomorrow against Toronto. And then, Buffalo is that we always play down to our opponents. Like, we play down to our opponents and up to our opponents. So that could be a potential positive going into
if you go in there and beat
playoff
Toronto, you got to be like riding high in Buffalo and just come out.
The thing
we were riding
and take it to them.
No, see, you know what though? I challenge that because we were riding high after beating Dallas going into Arizona, and we looked like garbage. We just let Arizona run riot over us in the first period, and Kokkonen did all he could. But he was sniped on some goals, and they weren't. And we saw all those goals.
Gunther's goal. God, I still love that. Being in the spot that
I know.
Just an absolute
such a snipe.
laser beam.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
fantastic.
Cool. Perfect angle. I got to say, the shorts guy, similar to the Penguins, is what I'm noticing for the Devils, at least this season. Teams like Ottawa and teams like Buffalo, who aren't structurally good or foundationally good, and is the reason why they're doing so poorly. But also you thought more of Ottawa and Buffalo. So like, oh, why aren't they better? But that's why they don't have a proper foundation. They don't have a proper structure.
Mm-hmm.
And the run and gun. And when you come into a team and you play that team and your team yourself isn't structured or sound foundationally either, you try to match what they do, and they're gonna outdo you every time. Every time.
Yeah.
If you want to try to outskill those teams or just like outspeed those teams, you're going to lose to them. And that's how Ottawa gets their wins, because teams they get it in their heads. They're just like, hey, look at these guys. They're flying around. We can match that. Let's start flying around. It becomes a complete disaster.
You get off your game.
Lose.
You're not playing your game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing
so that's
game
why you
right,
struggle with
right
teams you struggle against teams like Ottawa and like Buffalo and like maybe even Arizona to a lesser extent. I don't think Arizona has the speed and skill like of those other two teams, but that's what it is. And I don't even know if it's playing down to their level because they're bad teams. They're poorly structured teams, and you just try to outskill them.
They are.
You don't go with any. You don't go with any sort of plan. You just go out there and be like, "We're going to outskill this team," and it doesn't work.
But having said that, though, Guy, the game against Ottawa. There were so many bad and missed passes across that whole game on Saturday. Sam and I were watching, going like, "What the hell?" It's
all a result of the same crap,
So many like passes that they missed, passes that were behind. Just it wasn't good. It wasn't good enough. Which you can't see my son because a little bit cramped in here, but it's just not good enough. And but then they come out on yesterday afternoon, which we're not good in the second half of a back-to-back, but we lost the first half and we annihilated in the second half. But I guess that was, I don't know, like that. At least we beat the Islanders. That was a game we had to beat, we had to win, because that was a 4-point game. That was a Metro Division team above us in the standings. That was a must-win. So that gives me a little bit of hope that in a must-win game like that, even though Ottawa was a must-win, they're all must-wins at this point. Right. That absolute must-win game of that team that's in your division and above you, they were able to pull it off. So I don't know.
Who do the Devils play at the very end of the season? Like, who are their last two opponents? Those games,
Philly,
I'll tell you right now.
Philly,
those could be huge
and then
games.
we play Philly second to last away, and then our last game of the season is home against the Fish Sticks, which could determine our playoffs.
That last wild card spot still might be that last wild because I think Washington's 2 points behind them, 3 points behind them with 2 games in hand.
2 points. Yeah.
2 points,
we play Philly.
2 points behind with 2 games in hand. Yeah, so it could be Philly. Could very well be Philly.
Yeah, and like we see Ottawa again, and then we see Toronto 3 times in the last 3 weeks of the season.
It's not crazy.
And we did the same thing against you last year. We didn't see Tampa until the very end. It was like 3 games in like 8 days or something stupid like that.
They played last year. Was it last year they played them twice at New Jersey?
And then we see Toronto. We see Toronto this Tuesday, and then the week after next we see Toronto home and away in the same week.
Yeah.
It's
and Toronto's gonna be playing to possibly get a home seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then we have a home game against.
I don't know if they are.
We got a home game against Nashville.
I don't think they will.
There's
2 games in hand, so they can get 4 points there. But yeah,
it's going to be interesting into the season. I could see the Devils' playoff hopes riding on the absolute last game, April 15th, which I'm going to work on getting a ticket for, and we're going to do stuff from American Whiskey for the Let's Go Devils podcast because why not?
Yep.
Last hurrah, possible last hurrah for the season.
All right, last one. Rangers 7-3 last 10. Obviously the good win against Florida, 4-3 in the shootout. Boston 5-2 win. You beat the Islanders. You beat Pittsburgh. That was a crazy game. Really no structure. And then the 1-0 Carolina win. That was over the weekend. Steven had to actually tell me that they beat the Islanders because I had not paid attention. I was not looking at what was going on there. But they played well recently. Both Quick and Shesterkin kind of splitting, every other game. And
your Messiah's back. Your new Messiah's back.
Yeah.
Your new Messiah's back.
Yeah.
Your new cash cow for your jackass owner.
Listen, someone who doesn't get as much heart conversation as I think they're in the at least talks. It's a nod, just like Crosby, right? But Panarin, 99 points in 71 games. I think he's got 28 or 29 multi-point games. He had a 5-pointer, a couple games ago against Pittsburgh. He had the 2 goals in the shootout win versus Florida. He had a Hattie against Boston. He's played extremely well down the stretch, and it's something that the Rangers have kind of been able to. They for a team that has some star power and Mika Zibanejad, Kreider, some of these other guys, they haven't pulled their weight as much as Rangers fans would typically like to see. So Panarin's been that good on that line with Trocheck and Lafreniere, who Lafreniere also has played really well. He's 23 or 24 goals. He's starting to look like he's comfortable and enjoying it, and he's playing with a little sandpaper
before he gets traded to Tampa.
Yeah. Exactly. I am comfortable and confident. This team can do some things. Down the stretch, and when they get in the playoffs, a whole different ballgame. But at in the immediate, I'm not really. I'm hoping that they can avoid the Tampas in round 1. I don't know. Teams don't really do that where they try to aim for players because it just never seems to work. Aim for teams to play because it never seems to work. But that's the one team I'd be so nervous to play.
Because you're going to finish top of the division or second. If you fall to 2, you're not going to play.
Second in our division. You're not second in the overall conference.
Yeah, so you just win your division. I don't know. I don't see it happening.
If we win our division and Florida wins theirs, we're playing you guys, which I just don't want to see that.
Maybe. Well, maybe.
I'd be okay with that.
The Devils will do a solid, beat Toronto, and Tampa will take over Toronto's spot.
Devils could. Devils absolutely.
I don't mind that. You guys win, that's fine with me.
I don't give a shit about Boston first round. I'm not really even. I don't know how. I don't know. Boston's got what they have. They have 97 points also.
Yeah,
or something.
I don't understand.
But they just I see. I don't know. I watch them. How's this team doing this good?
On the team.
Yeah,
they played 24 games in overtime this season.
It's a combination of the goaltenders.
That's nuts.
Yeah, 24 games in overtime. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Over a quarter of the season.
Playoff overtime.
Over a quarter of the season, they played in overtime.
Yeah. Obviously, Pasta's nasty. Marchand's got 62 points, but you look at their depth. I mean, Coyle. Who scares you? Coyle, Zaka. I think Charlie McAvoy's overrated. DeBrusque, Frederick. Yeah, their coaching and their goaltending is the two big things.
Miss Mim.
Oh, hello, Adam.
All right, we'll get to a couple quick.
I'd bring Michu over, but he's doing what he does best.
Nothing.
Eating.
Nice. Marty St. Louis is going to join the Canadiens coming up after a personal leave. You had the Penguins securing the Yager bobbleheads.
Yes.
Shane Doan's son Josh is going to make his debut for the Coyotes, which is
the bobbleheads were found.
Crazy
here.
They were.
Yeah, just said they secured them. Sam Reinhart with 50 goals. Yeah, I know that was very funny. Reinhart with 50 goals. Wilson with a 6-game ban for the chop. Oshie with 1,000 games. I was just looking at the points leaders, right? So you have Kucherov 123, McKinnon 122, McDavid 117. You got Pasta and Panarin both at 99, Rantanen at 96, Nylander 93. Then you have Draisaitl and Matthews at 92, and then JT Miller's at 90. You might have 10 guys scoring over 100 points, which would be
they could all get over
pretty
100.
cool.
Pretty cool.
And then along with that, you could have upwards of 6-7 guys with 50 goals. You already have 3. You have Zach Hyman, 50 goals is just crazy to me. 19 assists, by the way.
Insane.
Reinhart 50, Matthews 58. But McKinnon's got 44, Pasta's got 44, Panarin 43. Every goal he gets is a new career high. He's been shooting lights out. And then Cooch and Point both 41. They could hit the 50-goal mark as well. So that's interesting. Goaltenders, I mean, Connor Hellebuck is one of those guys that I also think, I know Vezina, he'll win the Vezina, but
I hope so.
He's got to be in the Hart Trophy conversation for me. He's been sometimes the only reason.
But his name isn't.
He'll be in the conversation. Yeah, pretty much every team has a guy.
But I think he actually deserves to be one of the top 3. I think he deserves to be on the
Connor
pedestal.
McDavid is not going to win.
Well, no, and just goalies just don't get Hart nominations
because they get the Vezina.
Unless you don't have unless there's
all world.
You go back to when Carey Price was playing. Obviously, he was all world, but also there wasn't really any. I don't even think there was any real standout point getter that season, offensive player. I don't know if that was circa Jamie Benn era when he won the scoring title with 87 points. Or
it's like goalie bias.
No, but I do think that
189 goals.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to be had that he should be in the Hart conversation. You can make that for a lot of players. But yeah, unless you're one of the highest scoring players in the league, you're not getting consideration.
Yep.
Which is kind of what the Hart turned into.
Yeah, it turned into like a second Maurice Richard. It's like a second Rocket Richard trophy.
It's like a second Art Ross.
Second, yeah. Well, it's bad because and right now and it's eventually we're going to see the turnover that if right now if your name's not Connor McDavid, you're not going to win it, and eventually in the next couple of years they're going to bestow it upon you. If your name is not Connor Bedard, you're not going to win it, which is what we're going to have to deal with for the next I don't know how many freaking seasons. Like
so
if you're
not
out Hawks, you're not playing the Winter Classic for the next 18 years as well.
Price beat out Ovechkin and Tavares that year. Oh, come on. Why aren't you working for me?
What year was it?
2015. Just trying to find for some reason. All right, here. 14. Yeah, so Carey Price won it, and in that year, Ovechkin had 81 points and Tavares had 86. Tavares led. Oh no, Jamie Benn led the league in 87 points. Yep. So that was the Benn.
So there you go. Yeah, so that was the same year. Okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't even nominated, right?
Points. Who? No, Ben was 12.
Jamie Benn wasn't even nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened to St. Louis also the one year. He led the league in points and wasn't even a finalist.
Yeah, Crosby with 84 points and it doesn't say the amount of games, but yeah. All right, you guys got anything else? Bit to do?
No.
Bid you adieu.
Oh, we did talk about quickly. Sorry, Frozen 4. Just quick.
Oh yeah,
so obviously, the top 16 teams were named. My team,
title.
UMass, got an at-large bid. I love it. One of the last teams in. So semifinals this Thursday. Denver at UMass. Denver versus UMass. Denver's going to smoke us, but it's cool to be in the tournament. Maine versus Cornell. You're going to have Boston University versus RIT. Minnesota versus Omaha. You have BC playing Michigan Tech, Wisconsin, Quinnipiac.
That one's hilarious. Michigan Tech?
State. Yeah,
How the
Michigan
frick
Tech.
did they make it?
You have a bunch of Michigan teams. So Michigan State plays Western Michigan, and then North Dakota plays Michigan. So you have Michigan Tech, you have Michigan State, Western Michigan, and what was the other one?
Michigan A&M.
Yeah, Michigan A&M. Yeah. Listen, the big things are North Dakota is a wagon, but I mean BCBU, they're the top two teams.
That's what they want. That's what they want for the
4 of the 5 best players in this tournament. Cutter Gauthier, who actually might win the Hobie Baker. He's got 35 goals on the season. Gabe Perreault, Ryan Leonard, all for BC. BU's got the number 1 pick in the country in Macklin Celebrini. It's it's an amazing year for freshmen.
No shorts guy, no.
Yeah, no shorts guy.
I know. I don't want it, but where's the final this year, Dean?
It is going to be in Frozen 4 is in it doesn't say this. Where's it? Omaha, I think.
Good old Nebraska.
Omaha.
Nebraska. Great.
Oh no, sorry, St. Paul, Minnesota. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, Omaha is one of the teams.
Upper Midwest.
What was that?
Upper
Yeah,
Plains.
Omaha's in the game versus Michigan, versus Minnesota. But yeah, between Perreault, Leonard, Gauthier, and then Celebrini, his team, and you're also missing guys like you have North Dakota sophomore Jackson Blake, who's right up there with Celebrini and Gauthier with 59 points, who's had a fantastic year. Denver, like I said, Wagon, North Dakota, BCBU, those are probably the teams you're looking for in the Final Four. But college hockey, those games are always ridiculous, and there's you can tell the kids are just so into it, right?
I have to. I missed an opportunity to go finally see my alma mater at their new building this year, and I just couldn't make it. So I gotta get up to Sacred Heart at some point and see their new rink and be jealous that I never got to skate there. I gotta.
Yeah, I mean, listen, UMass is number 14 on the ranking. They were one of the at-large bids, 2013-3. Finalist for Conference Play of the Year. He won't win it because obviously, they have names of Celebrini and all those guys in the conference. But Ryan Ufko had the game-winning goal against Providence, and they got smacked by BC 8-1 in the hockey semifinals. But it's some good stuff. So, all right, that will bid us adieu. Gents, you got anything else before we head out? Anything you want to chat about?
No.
Nah.
All right. Yeah, let's. How about I cannot
find a button
There we go. Should be
outros not as successful as the intro.
Whatever. It wasn't playing. I don't really know why. All right, my beer. 4 Rainbow.
Yeah. Whatever I give you, flashing lights every week, 4 something or other.
4 Steven. Swim with an 4. I like it.
4 is across.
Swim. Take her home.
Happy Easters to everybody.
I like it.
Who celebrates?
Happy Easter, everybody. Yeah.
Yes.